little after 9:30. Sorry I'm late. I'm going to call our meeting to order.
Speak up.
Our last meeting of the 2022-2023 season. As you all know, next month is the breakfast. I'll cover that in another moment or two. Why don't we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Arnie Katz. For those of you who don't know me, I'm going to chair the meeting today. Dr. Lori Dinnicor is attending the commissioners' meeting today on some very important subjects that affect all of us. A lot of it has to do with the land swap and the ag reserve, which is very important to all of us. I'd like to introduce some of our guests first, and then we'll proceed. But let me first cover the breakfast. Those of you that have received the invitations already, please return with the RSVP as indicated on it, so we know we need an accurate count who's coming. And please remember that the breakfast is for paid-up communities only. So if your community hasn't paid this year's dues, please encourage your office or officers to do so. Okay.
What's the date of the breakfast?
June 2nd, 4 weeks from Friday, at Glen Eagles. It'll be on your invitation, all the information necessary. Let's see. Okay, that covers all that minutia. Now, as far as guests joining us this morning, Ed Saul from, I can't talk again, from Commissioner Sack's office, Howie Zimmerman from the Property Appraiser's office, Kim Rayner and Maria Zuniga from the Supervisor of Elections office, Major Chris Keene from PBSO District 4, Mike Pratt from the Property Appraiser's office, Josie Machoval from from Commissioner Marcy Woodward's office, Keith McIntosh from the Tax Collector's office, Cheryl McCoy, please excuse my mispronunciations, from the Clerk of Court's office, Evelyn Dupuy from Senator Berman's office, and Grenada Mercado from a legislative aide from the Palm Beach County delegation. Welcome, all of you. Thank you. And now let's have an update from our District 4 Lieutenant Wink. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see everybody. A couple of brief updates from our office. Our directed traffic enforcement's having a huge success in the 3 designated locations we discussed in the previous meetings. Traffic crashes are down 11%, and this is a direct result of all the traffic enforcement being conducted. Since March, it's been over 1,100 traffic stops with over 300 citations. So we're really pleased with the results. We're going to continue this operation until June 1st. Kings Point Plaza, we've received several complaints in the last couple of months of possible drug activity, drinking, open containers, and loitering under the pergola between Walgreens and the farm store. Okay. We worked together with the partnership with the property manager. We had narcotics come out and also street team units addressed it. We determined there was no drug activity going on there, but there was indeed loitering and some drinking. So we addressed it. Numerous arrests were made, trespasses. We got with the property manager. We removed the benches that were under the pergola. As a result, there is no longer an issue there, and I'm sure you guys have noticed it. Okay, so we're really pleased about that. The next month, we're going to be implementing the body-worn camera program out here in West Delray. All our deputies are going to be trained, and they'll be deployed in the field, so we're really excited about that. Lastly, this morning they're having a praise presentation, Citizens Response Activist Shooter events over at Kings Point Theater. That's a 90-minute presentation. 240 people will RSVP for the event. Unfortunately, it's a conflict with this meeting, but we will schedule future events to get this information out. We really wanted to get it out. This was the only day they were available. Since COVID, we really just want to get this information out. All right, good seeing everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. And now Chief Stansberry from the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue.
Hello, everybody. Just want to give a quick update on fire rescue activities going on. Last month, the Station 45, which is the one right on Linden Jog by Kings Point, was the busiest station in the county. Ran almost 600 calls, which is about 20 calls a day. That station is also under construction. They're renovating the bunk room to get more personnel there so that we can increase the staffing, which we've already done, so there'll be more people there to help you out when you time of need. Additionally, there's going to be a new station a little further north on La Chalet and Military, and one on Flavor Picton Lyons. They're both a little out of the Alliance area, but that area will benefit you guys because the units in your zone won't have to go out to cover other areas. So it'll indirectly have more units around here for your, whenever you call 911, they'll be able to get there quicker for you. And pretty much stay safe out there. If you ever need anything, call 911. We'll be there to help you out. Have a good day.
Thank you, Chief. We're very fortunate to have great first responders in our community, both in the fire department and the PBSO. We're always thinking about that. We're very lucky. Now, this morning's breakfast is sponsored by eXp Realty. Paul Saperstein is the broker, and Paul, did you want to say anything? No. Paul will talk to you privately back there. Paul's a good guy, and it's a great company. Thank you for sponsoring this morning's breakfast. Okay, I think we'll proceed on to our presentation today from Palm Beach County Planning, Building, and Zoning Department. Our first speaker is Senior Investigator Jeremy Davis, and he's also here with Certification Coordinator Ryan Perez. And let's start off and welcome them.
Thank you very much. I'm Senior Field Investigator Jeremy Davis, and this is Licensing Coordinator Ryan Perez. I'm going to give you a look. Is that any better?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Just testing. I'm Senior Field Investigator Jeremy Dennis. I'm with Contractor Certification, and we have Ryan Perez. He's the Licensing Coordinator. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about what it is Contractor Certification does for you. All right.
Hello and good morning to all. Palm Beach County's Contractor Certification, our mission statement is to promote a safe and healthy environment through a contractor certification regulation and program to minimize any potential losses to our residents by unlawful contractor activities. We encourage folks to use a qualified and licensed contractor, as this is not just a good idea, it is the law. What do we do at Contractor Certification? We regulate contractors through a certification program countywide, including most municipalities. That's throughout unincorporated Palm Beach County and most municipalities. We ensure contractors have the technical skills and the business stability to perform the work. We monitor, investigate, and prosecute unlawful contractor activities to minimize monetary and emotional impact on our residents and industry professionals. We work closely with city, state, and law enforcement officials. What is required to become a licensed contractor? 1, we conduct background investigation, including criminal and credit checks. We also need the applicant or license holder to meet the number of years of experience for that applied trade. Competency, business, and trade tests requirements require the license holders to test and meet the minimum requirement of 75% or higher on their trade and business and law exams in Palm Beach County. Prior to issuance of any license or competency, proper insurance, including liability and workers' compensation, is then required. What you'll find here is a slide which we regulate and issue licenses for over 49 categories or trades. That can be for anything from a painting license to a general contractor's license. Here's some tips and warning signs, or some examples that a person or a company may not be certified. An advertisement which does not include a contractor's license number. Falsely using their business and receipt as their license. Requests of a large down payment before commencing work. Statements such, "It will be cheaper if you obtain your own permit." Oral contracts only. Contractor prefers to work on weekends or after hours. Unable to provide a certificate of insurance. Someone other than the certificate obtains a builder permit. Other than the contractor, excuse me. Help us help you. Always verify with the contractor is properly licensed and possesses current insurance. And there's a link to our website. Anybody from the public may obtain access to our database, which includes essentially 15,000 contractors in our database. You can search by company name, contractor, or even classification. So if you're looking for a plumber, you may search by the plumbing trade. Same for an HVAC unit. This link will allow you to do so. Potential problems when hiring an unlicensed contractor. Paying for the work twice. Insurance coverage problems. Poor workmanship / construction that does not meet building code standards, resulting in having the work redone. Code enforcement actions with daily fines to the property owner. Delays in title insurance when selling the property. This is your money. You must protect it. Here are some quick and easy steps to follow when hiring a contractor. Request a copy of the contractor's construction license. Check the license number either online, via phone, or in person as follows. There's a link to our website again, in which anybody can look for classification, company, contractor's license. And again, you may contact our office at the provided number, or send us an email, and we'd be happy to further assist you. With that, at this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Senior Field Investigator, Jeremy Dennis. And thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Contractor Certification Division. Here's an example. This is an actual case example where there was a hired for a condo renovations, and there was 3 units, and the various licensed trades involved demolition, drywall, carpentry, countertops, electrical, painting, hard countertops, plumbing, and tile work. So what happened here in this case, like I said, it was a condo. The unlicensed contractor baited in a particular victim and got them for $11,000. And then furthermore, it was a little Ponzi scheme. They got that first victim, and then that victim got somebody else, another neighbor, unsuspecting, $35,000. And then so on, $63,000. So what ended up transpiring? Action stop. A stop work order was issued for not having the required permits. An unlicensed contractor was issued with 23 citations totaling $11,500 in fines. Discovered that the contractor used a state licensed contractor illegally to obtain permits, and the state contractor was referred to Department of Business Professional Regulation, DBPR, for aiding and abetting that unlicensed contractor. Here are some of the photos of that exact case that I was talking about. So this unlicensed contractor, the first 2 photos are of one unit, and the other 2 are the other. So this is the damage that this unlicensed contractor took, did the toll, and took their money. So before hiring an unlicensed contractor, ask yourself this question: is it worth it? Is this worth the risk? False advertisements by unlicensed contractors. advertised as a fraudulent, this is another case, as a fraudulent license number on business card and an invoice. That's the photograph of a particular advertisement. Looks like a legitimate business card, right? No, think again. The homeowner paid the unlicensed contractor $3,200 to make electrical repairs. The new homeowner inspection revealed numerous electrical violations. And that's a photograph of one of the various electrical damage done. But the unlicensed contractor was issued a total of $2,000 in fines. But that's sort of hitting to the point. You got to check out the business company in our database, check out the license number. Here's another case example. False advertisement by a licensed contractor. So in this case, we had a victim provided us with Company A, Company B. Company A, as you see, Alert General Contractor Corp, serving South Florida 13 years. And there's a CGC number, for anybody that's not familiar, that's a Certified General Contractor number. The homeowner received a proposal from this general contractor. The contract was not signed by either parties. The contract price, $12,850. The company was active, but did they sign with them? No. Who they unfortunately signed with was the unlicensed contractor. The construction, consulting, and accounting services. The homeowner submitted the contract, the proposal from an unlicensed contractor, and this is what was included in the complaint form. There was no license or address on the letter. The contract was not signed by either parties. The contract price was $17,830. Wow, more than the licensed contract. But there was a condition of $100 minus $100 a day if not completed on time. And the victim paid $7,132. Complained that the work was poor workmanship, the worker took the materials, never returned to do the job, nor did they take any calls. So it's another example. You know, people think, okay, unlicensed contractor, it might be cheaper. No. Is it worth the risk? Here's another, can you spot these red flags? These are some advertisements. All of these are involved cases. But as you can see, first one, this individual had a paver man. This was a billboard sign that I noticed on Lyons a while back ago. He was an unlicensed because he had a Broward County license. Just because you have a Broward County license doesn't mean that you're licensed to work here. As you can tell, he also had a website there. But in addition to that, we have Mr. Ward. That one, he has a CCC license, good. He's a state licensed roofing contractor. And by these license numbers, you can plug that into our database and verify it. A business card next to that, no license, and wood tiles, couldn't even spell marble. So that's sort of a red flag. If you can't spell the trade that you're doing, a red flag should go. But be that as it may, you see, if you're going to be contracting with these people, check a free database that we have available. Check the company name, check the license number, what you see. The next one, popcorn ceiling and exterior painting. Mentions in there licensed and insured. Just because a contractor puts down licensed and insured, don't just rely upon that. Ask for their license. Next one, this one happens to have a U license on there, painting services. That's good, that is a county license. You have that license number, you just plug that in, verify the information. And the next one, there's a Miami and a Broward license number. No, just because there might be licensed in Miami and Broward does not mean that they have the qualifications to work in Palm Beach County. So, like mentioned before, get this information, ask for their license, and you can contact our office. All complaints, if you happen to be a victim of a licensed contractor, all complaints must be submitted to our office, Construction Industry Licensing Board of Palm Beach County, Palm Beach County Contractor Certification Division. There's our email address as well as our phone number. Online, you can access our website there. Also, we provided some handouts. If anybody did not get them, we have some handouts, and both Ryan and I's business cards are in the back. And additionally, contact information. And I'd also like to do a little plug. Our Construction Industry Licensing Board is made up of not just the construction industry, but also consumers. So we have a number of openings on our Construction Industry Licensing Board, also CILD, which consists of 15 members representative of the construction industry and citizens within Palm Beach County. The CILD is responsible for approving all applications for certification, examination, requests for change of status, and may take disciplinary action against county certified contractors for violations. Meetings, in case any of y'all are interested in to attend, meetings are held on the fourth Monday of every month except for November, and at our Vista Center, 2300 North Jog Road at 2 o'clock. And the following positions are open and available in case anybody is interested. 2 consumer seats, requirement must be a Palm Beach County resident, and 1 building official seat, full-time building official that meets the requirements of the Building Officials Association of Florida. So that concludes our contractor certification segment, and I'd like to welcome up Mr. Michael Gogger with the Building Division. Thank you.
Well, that's going to be a tough act to follow. Thanks, guys. My name is Michael Gogger. I'm the Building Division Coordinator for Palm Beach County in the Building Division. I'm here to talk to you guys about some permitting issues today, as well as the Senate Bill 4D, which is the tall condos. That's coming into effect very rapidly. A little bit about what we do. We ensure life and property safety within our community and the built environment through an efficient and effective administration of the enacted building codes. We also are active leader in roles in the code development and education aspect. A little bit of how we do it. Safety in the buildings. This is achieved through rigorous review of construction plans and through inspections periodically before, during, and after the construction of the projects. This goes hand in hand with the contractor certification. That's why it's extremely important to get licensed contractors while doing your work. The compliance, we ensure the finished product is in strict compliance with the thousands of pages of regulations and the standard references throughout these regulations. Some fun, you guys aren't seeing, some fun numbers. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Some fun numbers to see. Here's our permit activity that we have. Just so you guys know that we're extremely busy over there at the building division aspect. Last year we had 74,963 permits. The year prior we had 82,990 permits. You can kind of see a trend there. Next is the inspection activity metrics. On average, the building division performs over 17,000 inspections per month. And as the residents continue to pile into Palm Beach County, this number is only going to go up. Today, I believe this morning we actually had a slow number. Before I left, it looked like we had 859 inspections just for the day. To give you an idea, smaller municipalities may do, anywhere between 30 to 100 inspections. Each one of our inspectors is doing between 22 to 30 inspections himself a day. So we're extremely busy over there. We have some popular permit requests. Interior alterations. Interior alterations include kitchen and bathroom remodels, the change of layouts where you move or you remove walls inside your buildings. Again, this requires licensed contractors to perform this work. Re-roofing. Re-roofing of the houses, that requires a licensed contractor. AC and water heater changeouts, addition and accessory structures, window and door changeouts, changing out your windows and doors to the impact or shutters. That requires permitting as well. And the permit requirements are there to ensure the safety of these structures for everybody. Technical difficulty, sorry guys. All right, jumping into the HOA and condo differences. HOAs are governed by Chapter 720 of the Florida statutes, and condominium associations are, they're governed by Chapter 718 through Florida statutes. There's both parity and a significant difference between both of these. Florida has an abundance of legislation governing homeowners and condo associations. Property owners should research the responsibilities of their respective associations and the documents that go with that, meaning your bylaws. The building division does not enforce condo or HOA provisions, only compliance with the Florida Building Code. Some of the differences: homeowners association, they govern the exterior of the community residence, the townhouses, and other dwellings within the community. A condominium association actually owns the building, and the unit owners own the interior. Most work in condos is going to require a permit and the work to be performed by a licensed contractor. Owners of single-family dwellings, they may act as their own contractor, but they must comply with the permitting requirements and licensing aspects of a licensed contractor. The permitting requirements are there again for the safety of all the structures. A question you might ask: when is a permit not required? Well, it's a good question. Easy items where you have a fixture change-out, which is a like for like. By fixture, I mean a faucet, a sink, a toilet, a dishwasher. As long as you're not changing the water supply or the piping that leads to these fixtures, to these items, then you will not require a permit for that. You will still need a licensed contractor to perform the work. Another item that is actually slightly confusing to people is water heater repair. This means changing out the heating element inside of the water heater. A lot of individuals think, oh, I can repair my water heater, change it out. No, you need a permit for changing out the water heater. Due to liability, if something bursts, if you have a leak, if you're on the second story, that's going to be a disaster for the person underneath it. Drywall repairs less than $1,000, plus the materials, plus the labor, plus everything that is incorporated in that cost. $1,000 or less, you do not need a permit. Again, you still need a licensed contractor. Receptacle and light fixtures, so if you're changing out a fan, a light fixture, all like for like. This is something that you don't need a permit for. Again, the building division does not issue permits for the installation of interior flooring. This is for unincorporated Palm Beach County only. So if you live within the city limits of Delray Beach, Boca, anywhere along those lines, they may require you to have sound dampening items or permits for the flooring that's being installed in your condo or co-op. Try to get you guys up. See, it's not showing. I had a picture of this goes to the tall condo walls, which are changing. This was a building of the Champlain Towers down south in Surfside. The building took about 12 seconds to collapse. That killed 98 people. Florida went ahead, and to ensure the condominium and cooperative safety, buildings are now required and needed to maintain and inspect a necessary and repaired main structural integrity system. Through this, the state enacted Senate Bill 4D. This requires building safety inspections for condominiums and co-ops alike, 3 stories and higher. It also increases the rights of unit owners and prospective unit owners to access information regarding the condition of such buildings. Meaning, if you're looking to buy a house, buy a condo, the HOA is required to give you those documents so you can see if they've had their Phase 1 inspection. It also revised the requirements for associations to fund reserves for the continued maintenance and repair of such buildings. Now, these safety inspections, it requires the co-ops and condos, buildings 3 stories and higher, to have a milestone inspection. Within this inspection is a Phase 1, which is the first inspection. This Phase 1 inspection is a visual inspection. A Phase 2 inspection will require destructive damage on that visual aspect if anything is found to be neglected. Now, these requirements are set forth with 30 years for buildings outside of the 3-mile coastline and 25 years of age or older within 3 miles of the coastline, and then 10 years after that. The safety inspection requirements, these specify the minimum contents of the milestone inspection reports. The inspection report results should be provided to local building officials and the affected associations. So as you come out, you'll have an engineer or an architect come out. They'll have to do your Phase 1 inspection. They'll go ahead then and submit it to the HOA and also the building department. So we're currently in the process of getting our website up and running so we can receive this information from the engineer and architect. We should have emails and letters going out to the HOAs and CAM associations, I'd say within the next 31 days. Just so you guys have an idea, the state of Florida, they were the ones who actually received the initial list of condos and co-ops that were listed under these regulations. Palm Beach County has currently identified more than 700 condos and co-ops in unincorporated Palm Beach County that have been affected by the law. We're still currently identifying more as we're going through the list. Some of the laws and buildings that are evolving, Senate Bill 154 is currently pending. That's going to require, we're the 25 years within the 3-mile coastline. That may require, a 30-year, but it will be up to the authority having jurisdiction, within that area to decide if they want to keep the 25 years. Also, at the end of this year, December 31st, 2023, we're changing our Florida Building Code, which changes every 3 years. We're going to be at the 2023, or the 8th edition of the Florida Building Code. And that pretty much sums up everything I have for you guys. So I'm happy to answer questions while I'm here for you. Well, we still have technical difficulties. Young lady over there in the white shirt.
Would you elaborate about the changes in the inspection code that you just talked about?
Changes in the inspection code are they're gonna be statewide. They're not really gonna affect you too much. It's gonna be up to the contractor to keep up with these changes themselves. But this is pertinent to make sure that the proper work is being done on your house. So this will go back to contractor certifications and everybody alike. So the building code administrators, which are your inspectors, your plans examiners, this is the code that we're going to have to follow to make sure that your buildings are up to code. Anybody else? Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. You guys have been a great audience, and I look forward to doing this in the future with you with a proper working slideshow as well. So, thank you so much, guys.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dwayne Johnson. I am a Senior Code Enforcement Officer for Palm Beach County. In this area here is Area 5, and
Speak up, please.
I'm actually the Area Supervisor for Code Enforcement in this area. I have with me Michelle Malcolm Daniels. She's a Senior Code Enforcement Officer. She's also a Code Enforcement Professional. And we also have Michael Jordan, who is one of our Code Enforcement Officers, and he's in the back over there. When we're done with the presentation, if you guys have any questions for anybody from the county staff or anything, feel free to come talk to us. Our mission statement to uniformly and consistently enforce Palm Beach County Code ordinances, land development regulations, and to promote and protect health, safety, welfare, and quality of life for the residents, businesses, and tourists of Palm Beach County. Our vision statement is to maintain our neighborhoods and communities' quality of life. To enforce land development regulations and all county ordinances in a timely and equitable manner, to serve the public professionally with integrity and respect. Our Code Enforcement Department specifically emphasizes that we deal with voluntary compliance. We all know that we have neighbors that call in and complain, and some things are minor and some things aren't. The bottom line is that if you have a code enforcement infraction on your property, our department works with you to clear this up, and we try to do it in a way that, you know, it's kind of on the homeowner to fix this stuff. You know, we don't want to have to go to hearings, and we don't want to have to force anybody to do anything. So our main goal is compliance, number one, and voluntary compliance at that. And we do a good job at that. At about 80% of all cases that come in are normally voluntary complied with, either before we get to a hearing status or even before a fine is even assessed at the property. So we investigate and enforce civil and criminal code violations in unincorporated Palm Beach County. Code violations may be broken down into 6 different kinds of violations, one being housing violations or property maintenance codes. Unified land development codes. We do work with the fire department, and their investigators, when they cite a property for a fire violation, we're actually the department that takes them. If it goes beyond compliance, we take them to hearing for them. We deal with Florida building code violations for our Palm Beach County Building Department. We deal with business tax receipts and the Palm Beach County Code of Ordinances. Examples: foreclosures, registry. We do illegal water use during the times whenever Florida's in a drought situation or something like that, when it's not the rainy season. Curb stoning, when you see these cars as you're driving down the road and you see a car on the side of the road with the for sale sign on it and all that. We don't allow that within the county right-of-ways. Special permits and special events. We do inspections for all that, along with the building department and the other associated departments, depending upon what's going on, whether it just be a pumpkin farm for Halloween or Christmas trees for Christmas. We do all the inspections for those. We do marine violations. Right now we're doing a lot outside of Peanut Island and everything, where we have a bunch of floating structures out there that have no decals on them or anything. People have just buoyed them in, and that's where they hang out on the weekend. But the problem is that they stay there throughout the entire week and within those travel ways on the water. We did have a COVID task force when COVID was in its height. And we do the BTR and occupancy use inspections for Palm Beach, for the unincorporated Palm Beach County businesses. All right, so who do we work with? So we work with County Administration's office. We work with County's Attorney's office, Planning, Zoning, and Building. Sorry.
Speak slower, please.
Okay. So we work with County Administrator's office. We work with the County's Attorney's office, Planning, Zoning, and Building, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. We also work with the Fire Department and Public Works Engineering. Code enforcement pretty much has a hand in almost every single department within the county, whether if there is a code or a violation that could happen in that area, there's a chance that code enforcement could become involved at some point to fix the issue. So in 2022, code enforcement investigated 7,942 complaints within unincorporated Palm Beach County. Out of that, we issued 4,048 notices of violations. 77% of those cases closed in compliance before they ever made it to a magistrate hearing. 23% of those cases required a special magistrate hearing. And that required them to be essentially put on a time limit, as whenever you go to hearing, they give you a set amount of time in which you have to correct the situation, or you could gain a fine afterwards. But typically, prior to you making it there, I mean, before we even make it to hearing with code, we've already exhausted just about every means necessary to solve the issue without having somebody becoming involved in it. So common code violations are site plan violations for businesses, expired permits, unpermitted structures on residential properties and commercial properties, exterior and interior disrepair and renovations. You guys are HOAs, correct? So you guys have condos? Both, okay. We've dealt a lot with some at Century Village and some in Kings Point and everything, where we had a few times where we've had some illegal, some work done without permits, and they've had issues that have followed it, and we're going to have some photographs that follow up on that. But we deal with minimal housing standards, fire codes, pool water maintenance and safety barriers for pools, inoperable, unlicensed, and derelict vehicles, dead trees, overgrown vegetation, and landscape requirements for site planning and businesses. Trash and debris on properties, and again, business tax receipts or occupancy and use for businesses within the unincorporated Palm Beach County. So these are some of the complaints that we get for property maintenance issues. You have a green pool. You know this is a breeding ground for mosquitoes. You have overgrowth in the other photo. This is the unpermitted interior renovations. This here is actually located in Century Village, where they took out a weight-bearing wall, and the unfortunate thing is it started to come down on them. So we had to go in and have shoring put in to fix that. This is exterior maintenance. Some of these, as you can see, the concrete walkways and stuff like that chipping away. And just regular property maintenance items, trash and debris. So our common types of investigations include the use violations on any properties, hours of operations normally for commercial properties. We deal with setbacks for zoning issues where structures are located. There's minimal setbacks on properties. Farm animals in residential areas, unpermitted construction during hours that they're not allowed to do construction. We get noise violations to the point to where we take sound meters out and we have to register sound over a period of time and has to break certain decibels to become violations. We do adult entertainment and human trafficking with the Sheriff's Department. We do special events and permits for zoning, the zoning department. We deal with a lot of illegal signs, all the snipe signs that you see in the right-of-ways, the illegal signs on any of these commercial properties and such. We're the ones that go out and clean those up. And commercial vehicle enforcement, improperly parked boats, trailers, and vehicles. In unincorporated Palm Beach County, if you own a boat, you have to keep it behind the front setback of your property, meaning the front wall of your property. A lot of people don't know that. If you moved from a different county or whatever, and these are just the little things that we would come up. It would be a courtesy notice to begin with. We'd come up, leave a thing on your door stating, hey, here's what's going on and here's what we need you to do. You know, and it's a simple fix. We also do land development investigations for use violations on commercial and industrial properties. We have a lot of properties in Palm Beach County. Some of them have the ability to not, you know, they're undevelopable. You can't do any developments on them or anything, but you could have a nursery on them or something. And some of these situations that you see on the screen here are just illegal uses. You know, they find a piece of property and they move on to it. Maybe they don't know that they have to go seek permission to do these certain things. But a lot of them, as you can see, the one on the far side is a nursery, which that's a good use. The one next to it is a contractor storage yard in an area where they can't have any development there right now, but they've opened up a contractor storage yard. And then we deal with life and safety. And here they're showing the life and safety before and after with all the junk, trash, and debris and all the items, and then the cleared property. So circumstances affecting a timely resolve on code issues. We have seasonal residents here. That can hinder us sometimes because they're only here half the year. Non-compliant or non-communicative respondents. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that sometimes somebody just doesn't want to talk to you, and it's kind of difficult. You know, if one of you were to call in a complaint and it's unresolved for a period of time, it could be because we're not getting anything from them. And even if we took them to hearing, we're still not getting anywhere with it. It's a situation that could sit there for a period of time. Access issues, and we do inspection warrants or administrative warrants, but those are only in life safety situations. And so far to date, I believe our department's only had two to date since the 80s that we've done an inspection warrant. One of them I did, and another one Charlie Zahn did. But other than that, those are the only two that we've had in Palm Beach County. We can help you guys navigate the building permit process. I know that is a tedious situation if you've never done it before, but if you guys have anybody that needs help or needs, we can put you in the right place in front of the right people, okay? If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have anybody that has a code issue, that has permitting issues, just please have them reach out to their code officer and ask for help with it. Lack of service on any required notice. Sometimes you guys just aren't here to get the notices that are sent out. So we post, and sometimes that's not the best thing in the world because some individuals might be up north and we're posting the property. They still don't know that anything's going on. And additional research is required sometimes. You may have property that's in probate or in a state where an individual has passed or what have you, and it takes a period of time for us to actually find out who the next of kin is and who the owner is going to be, and sometimes we have to wait for the probate paperwork to go through. And our department is regulated by Florida State Statute 162. And basically, in a nutshell, what 162 does, it offers protections for individuals. In other words, we have to give you the proper amount of time to fix a situation. We can't just walk in and then a week later we're fining you. We don't do that. Bottom line is that our process runs in pretty much 30-day increments. If you have a violation on your property, you'll get issued a violation, a notice of violation, which is a piece of paper, and it says all these things that Chapter 162 says that we have to say. It's not nice, but at the same time, it lets you know, hey, these are the things that could happen if you don't respond to these letters. And at the end of it, we're going to give you the ample time necessary to fix the issues that you have. And if it comes to a point where we end up in a special magistrate hearing or something like that, you're going to get additional time there also. Typically what we're doing, if it's trash and debris and little things, they give 30 to 60 days to either fix that. And if it becomes an issue where there's a permit or something like that, you end up in a magistrate hearing on that, they're given up to 270 days to gain permit on these items. So again, if you guys have any questions for code enforcement or the building department or contract certifications, we will be standing by and you guys can ask us anything you want. I would suggest that if you guys are having work done or going to have work done, I would get to know Jeremy and Ryan very well because they can navigate you through that situation, because sometimes, you know, without even knowing it, you'll think you're hiring a licensed contractor and they turn out not to be licensed and it becomes a problem. But anyway, we thank you.
Folks, I think we should thank all the folks from the building department who took time out of their very busy day to come and inform us as to what's going on. You know, we all have a tendency, our society has a tendency to take a lot for granted, and I think we have to be cognizant of all the folks that are around, that are out there to help us. You know, many people look at their approved contractor lists and look at Nextdoor and sites like that to find a contractor. And sometimes we meet them and we like their smile, like their presentation, like their price. Well, that's all well and good, but if they're doing a major job, you've got to be careful and check them out. Make sure they're licensed and doing things on our behalf, because generally our homes and condominiums are one of our largest investments in our entire life, and God forbid something goes wrong and we're in trouble. We're in trouble. So let's say thank you. Folks, I just want to remind you again of the breakfast next month, June 2nd. Again, RSVP, and please make sure your communities are paid up with the paltry sum of $150, which is petty cash. So thank you very much for attending. Let's have a great summer together. Be healthy, be safe, and we'll see you next month and then back again in September. Thank you all.